Hello, everyone, and welcome to Review, the show where I review movies that I've seen before and see how they've held up, how my opinion of them have changed, maybe learn a little bit about myself along the way. The idea behind Review is that times change, people change. We're looking at movies that we haven't seen in a while. Do we still like them? Do we like them more? A lot can happen in your life. All these major life events have affected how I view the world and subsequently a lot of the movies that I view. We're going to see how my point of view on them has changed. You hear the expression, that movie doesn't really hold up anymore. Well, that's what this is all about. I'm not going to go on about the nobility of cinema or anything like that. No, I am a casual moviegoer. Do I appreciate cinema as an art form? I suppose I do. Do I know more about movies than the next guy? Maybe. I don't know. I don't profess to be some expert in movies, but every once in a while I'll flick on a Wikipedia page. A friend gave me a book on Kurosawa once. Do I think I'm an expert in film? No. I like to think of myself as just a regular guy who likes to watch movies. So here in Review, there's going to be some ground rules. First of all, it's got to be a while since I've seen the movie. Rule of thumb, if it's a movie that I've only seen a few times before, probably only once before, 6 months. Got to give some time, some distance from that last viewing. If it's a movie I've seen a lot, probably going to go with at least a year. So today on Review, we are going to watch The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. Why are we doing this as our first episode? Well, simply put, my wife said she wants to watch it. It's really that simple. So I said, hey, hold up. I've had this idea for a YouTube video channel for a while. Give me a second while I record something. If you guys want to go and grab a copy of Lord of the Rings, throw it in your DVD player or, hey, video player, if you still got a VHS player, hey, go ahead, great. I don't care. Whatever. You guys want to throw on a copy of The Fellowship of the Ring and watch it in between sections. Great. Awesome. That'd be great. We can do this together. Here's what I, on a personal note, remember from that movie. I saw it with my best friend. He was about to move to Japan. So this was one of the last films we saw together before he moved off. There were some personal aspects to the viewing of this movie when I think back on it. But honestly, when I think of The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, I do not think of that aspect of our life. I remember not being as completely enamored with this movie as everyone else was. I thought, yeah, okay, it's kind of cool, it's kind of good, but I don't see why everyone's freaking out about this movie so much. It really wasn't until the second Lord of the Rings where I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. To date, The Fellowship of the Ring is probably my least favorite of the original installment. That doesn't mean I don't dislike it. I own a copy. I'm going to be watching the DVD copy that I own in a few minutes. Anyway, I think I'm ready to watch this movie. After I review the movie, I'm going to give it my review. So let's go watch the movie and let's see what I remember. And let's see how things and my feelings changed about it. And now it's time for the review. Gotta say, it was kind of what I was expecting. Um, you know, the movie, it was really well done. And I wasn't bored through it. Despite being 3 hours, it didn't feel bloated. It was, it didn't feel bloated. And, it kind of kept me somewhat entertained throughout the whole thing. But I suppose when I first saw it, I kind of felt the same thing that I am now. It felt like it didn't quite have so clear of a direction. Yes, Frodo has the ring. Yes, Frodo has to go to Mordor. I'm sorry, Mordor to destroy the ring. That's one thing I actually did like about this movie. when they would say these words that were in supposedly other languages, they threw accents on them a lot, which I don't remember them doing. And maybe they don't do that so much in the later films. I always liked the line Bilbo spoke about how his life was extended, yet it felt unnaturally spread out, like butter spread over too much bread. I also liked how you could see the ring corrupting Bilbo. He thought he put it on the mantle in an envelope waiting for Frodo, but he actually had it in his pocket. And he just kind of remembered that absentmindedly. But then he does it again, and it seems so much more on purpose the next time. One thing I found kind of comical was that after Frodo was stabbed by the ring wraiths, uh, it's mentioned that he's turning into a ring wraith. Um, Now that's kind of weird when you think about it, because Frodo's like what 2.5 feet tall. Here are these ring wraiths, these giant, hooded, cloaked, dark, ominous figures, and then I'm trying to imagine Frodo dressed the same way, stalking somebody. This little tiny 2 foot tall ring wraith running around, and I'm sorry, I'm just gonna kick that thing. I'm not a big guy either, and I'm just gonna kick it away. I imagine a ring wraith that you could hold off at arm's length that's swinging at you, like my brother did when I was a little kid. Now, there were some things in the movie that had confused me a little bit. The ring wraiths seemed to be afraid of water. When they first start chasing Frodo and the hobbits, they get onto a raft and the ring wraiths stop. Now, I'm sure, a horse jumping onto a raft, obviously that's not going to be a good thing, but it just seems kind of silly that they would stop like that. Later, I think Arendor, Arrowin, what? Okay, Liv Tyler is running to the elf village. Was it uh, Rivendell? Rivendell, yes. I was going to say Riverdale, but that's Archie. Liv Tyler is running with Frodo on her horse, being chased by the ring wraiths, trying to get him to the elven village of Rivendell to save Frodo's life. She crosses the river. The ring wraiths stop. They threaten her. She challenges them. So then they come across the river. Wait, whoa, hold on. They come across the river. Why did they stop? They come to the river, they stop. She challenges them. Oh, okay, yeah, come on, let's go, guys, let's get her. And then she chants some magic spell, and horses made of water come and splash over them. So maybe that's the reason. But did they just suddenly forget that that was going to happen? That she had the ability to do this? Yeah, I don't know. Right. Anyway, she gets Frodo to Rivendell, and they're greeted by her father, I guess the King of the Elves, I suppose, played by Hugo Weaving, who greets the hobbits and says, welcome to Rivendell, Frodo Baggins. The Matrix has you. That's what I was thinking. I'm kind of disappointed he didn't say that, but whatever. Sometimes I'm very confused by what happens in movies. Special effects. This was made in the early 2000s. This is the time where CGI, in my opinion, was really starting to get good. And you can prove me wrong, you can argue with me wrong, and I'm not going to argue back on that. I'm not an expert on this. But the CGI had moments where it was great. Some of those special effects don't hold up too well. When we meet the elven witch Gladriel, I don't know, everyone in this movie seems to have the same ending to their name. It's like an L for half the elves and or for half the humans, and even the place names are that. Isendor, Gladiator. That was one. Yeah, Isengard. I don't know. But either way, it's hard to keep these names straight, and that's not the movie's fault. That's something I can point at Tolkien for. But hey, whatever. Um, some of the effects don't hold up, but generally they're still pretty good. Um, when we meet the Elven Witch Gladriel, I think that's her name, we have this scene that I always liked where she's offered the ring. She devolves into some pretty bad CG effects. Maybe it was good for the time, but she goes into this speech about how she would be terrible and beautiful if she gets the ring and so forth. And I'm kind of gotten off on a tangent, but I liked that scene. Um, but she devolves into this bad CG and suddenly comes back. And she's like, yeah, I passed the test. Yay, I'm going to the West. My bowel diminished. I think, whatever. Um, read the book if I want details, I suppose. Lord of the Rings can be overly dramatic at times. That's something that can really be poison to a movie. Now, I didn't see a lot of that in this movie, and I was looking for it. That scene with Gladriel, the Good Witch, or the Elven Witch, that scene I think was pushing that a little bit, but it didn't quite get that bad. The only thing that doesn't make it hokey is just the fact that the movie is so incredibly well done. It really is. And it's one of the few things that's made this movie not age terribly badly. Um, and I can't imagine that it's easy to make a movie like this. It's got to be incredibly hard. Forget all the individual little details of staying true to the source material and everything like that. I'm just talking about not making it uber geeky. I think I just coined a phrase there, uber geeky. Right. I mean, you risk sounding like every D&D or Ren Fair participant. These movies could easily stray into the territory of being so dorky that even geeks want to beat up the fans of it. The fact that I can get through this movie without at best rolling my eyes at every other scene, let alone feeling the overwhelming urge to throw on my high school letter jacket and start beating up everyone who made this film is simply a testament to how good this movie is. Now, now, in the interest of full disclosure, um, I did letter in improv comedy, but not drama. Not I was not one of the drama kids, but just about all my friends were. And I did try out for the musical Little Shop of Horrors my freshman year. I didn't get in. They they didn't think I'd be a good fit for the psychotic dentist. But all my friends were in drama. Not me. Not me. Not me. Um, and I also lettered in fencing. And I ended up going back to my old high school and coached fencing for a bit. Assistant coached fencing. And I'm actually wearing one of the T-shirts from my old fencing club. One of my old students got really into SCA. Used to walk around in Renaissance clothing pretty much all the time. He'd come back home and people in the local university who didn't know him just started referring to him as Frodo. The name stuck. He ended up buying the local gaming store. I visited him at the store. That was only like 6 months ago. He still was wearing a vest from some of that. Support your local gaming store, I guess is what I'm really trying to say, guys. Yeah. So that's my review and review of Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. You guys have any thoughts on that? And there's plenty of geeks out there who are more geeky than I am. I'm sure there's plenty of things you guys are going to crucify me for, whatever. You guys agree with my review. You guys disagree with my review. Hey, whatever. I'm just hoping we had some fun along the way, guys. Take care, and I hope to see you again. Bye.